2 weeks ago, I set sail on MSC Cruise Line's ship, the Meraviglia, to the Bahamas, and this is my review. The review is going to be broken down into 5 parts. The first is accessibility, second is cost, third is their private island ocean key, fourth is my experience with on-ship entertainment and staff, and lastly, the vibes. First category, accessibility. If you live within the 5 boroughs and you can get to Pier 11 in Manhattan at Wall Street via public transportation, this trip is a no-brainer. See, once you get to Pier 11, you're going to take the South Brooklyn Ferry 2 stops to Red Hook. That's 17 minutes and it costs a total of $4.50. Once you get to Red Hook, you're there. You'll see the cruise ship, you're at the terminal. You just walk into the terminal. Now there's going to be a bag check. You don't have to check your bag. I didn't because I didn't want to wait on the line. I brought my bag right in. You put it through the security scanner. Once your bag is scanned, you take your passport and your boarding pass over. They verify you are who you are. They give you a little card with a number on it and you go into a waiting room. Now you wait until your number is called and you board the ship. It's that easy and so quick. And let's talk about the pluses, right? You don't have to pay for parking because you're not driving there, you're taking public transportation. Another huge plus is since you're not getting on a plane and you're just boarding at the terminal, you don't have to put all of your liquids in those tiny little airplane bottles. So you could bring your full-size lotion, your full-size shampoo, your full-size perfume on the ship. And trust me, I did. You can. So, I mean, it's really a no-brainer to take this trip. After I got off of the ship, I decided to go to a little coffee shop and hang out before I went home. And I ran into a ton of people from the local area that took the ship. One of them lived in Brooklyn and lived 2 blocks away from the terminal. So you can't beat it. Okay, so next, let's talk about the cost. So in total, I paid $1,152 for my entire trip for the full 7 days. So what that included was $770 for my stateroom. Now, mind you, I booked an interior stateroom and MSC upgraded me to a deluxe balcony for free. So keep that in mind, that may happen for you too. What else did I pay for? Well, I paid $139 for the internet package, and that included streaming, browsing, I could listen to my music, I could watch Netflix movies, I can call family and friends on WhatsApp and text. So I highly recommend getting the internet package, especially prior to your trip because it's going to be more expensive when you get on the boat. All right, so what else did that include? Well, MSC charges you $112, I believe, for gratuities. So that covers your room steward, waiters, and bartenders. But again, you can carry some cash and tip them if you want to as well to thank them for their service. Okay, so while I was on ship, I didn't get a drink package, but I did buy a couple of drinks on board, I think 2 or 3 drinks. Each drink was $10 a piece with tax, so that came to $11.80 per drink. I also paid $2 to rent shoes to go bowling because yes, they have bowling alleys on the ship. I also paid $33 for snorkeling gear when we got to Ocean Cay, and I highly recommend getting the snorkeling gear. It's only $30 and it's so worth it because there's a lot of sea life in the ocean and it's just fun to check it out while you're swimming. Something fun to do and it's not that expensive. So my fee also included $18 plus tax, so it came to about $21 for one of their rock shows, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But it's completely worth it. The show was amazing and it was only $18. So you figure for 7 days I paid a total of $11 and you really can't beat that. And I think when I saw the cruise originally last year, they were advertising staterooms for $3.99. And if you check every now and then if they have a sale, you'll see that the interior staterooms can get that low. So you can't beat the cost on this one. On to Ocean Cay, their private island. This had to be probably my most favorite part of the entire trip. The only thing is I wish we actually spent 2 days there because it was just that beautiful. And you'll see that there are crystal clear turquoise waters that are perfect for snorkeling, which is where I rented the equipment and snorkeled. They have free beach chairs. Just make sure you get there early so you pick one up. I got there at around 9:30, so there was no problem. Restroom areas all over the island and bars as well, all over the island. They did serve us lunch, and the lunch was refreshing because it was a little different from the lunch that was served on the boat in the buffet as well as in the complimentary restaurants. So make sure you check that out when you go. Also, there are some inlets on the island. So there are some parts where you can go swimming. A lot of the kids went swimming in those areas because the water was nice and calm, no waves, and it was surrounded by the beach. But then you could also go and swim in the ocean, in the waves and in the water. And that was actually the better place to do snorkeling, but you could still see some fish in the inlets as well. So I highly recommend checking out Ocean Cay when the boat docks there. You will absolutely love it. So next topic is the on-ship entertainment and the staff. So one thing I can say about MSC is that you will never be bored. So I went to, I think it was 5 live shows of singing and dancing by professional entertainers. I went to 3 comedy shows. Now there was 1 comedian, but he had 3 different sets, and 2 were clean and 1 was the adult set. He was great. I saw 2 Cirque du Soleil shows, and those weren't included. They weren't complimentary, but they were only $18 a piece. Highly recommend them though. They were definitely worth it. And the parties. So I attended 3 parties on the ship. The first was the glow party, which was the first day at sea. It was towards the end of the first day. And everybody was encouraged to wear fluorescent clothing. Now the party was a lot of fun. Everybody was dancing. Everybody was, in it for the good time. But my favorite party was the tropical party. Now that was the next night, and that was outside. I think we had been getting closer to the Bahamas at that point. So it was warmer out, so we were able to be outside. Now this party is where they were playing all Caribbean and calypso music. So I had the most fun. You were encouraged to wear like tropical themed outfits. So I wore like a multicolored, tropical colored dress, and tons of fun. That was my most favorite party. The next party was the white party, and now this is where almost the entire ship shows up, and everybody is dressed in white, and everybody's out to have a really great time. So the entertainment was constant. There was never a night where I was like, oh, what can I do? There was always something to do, and there was always a good time. Here's another pro tip for you, are the after parties. So on the Meraviglia, the after party is at deck 18 at the Attic Club. And if you're lucky, and if you have a cool TJ Martin like we did, he'll come up to the after party on deck 18 and hang out till the wee hours of the morning. So besides all of that awesome entertainment, the crew was just amazing. The activities director, his name was Manuel. This guy was a little party starter. He ran every party. He was in the variety show. He was funny. He was, getting everybody hyped. So they really did a great job getting everyone involved and keeping us busy. The cruise ship director was pretty amazing too. And besides that, the room stewards, the waiters, the people in the buffet, just everybody was so friendly, so welcoming, always had a smile on their face, and did a great job. Everything was clean. My room was clean meticulously every single day, without even me asking. So I can't really say enough about the crew on the ship, both working hospitality and also running all of the activities. So it was really great. I really enjoyed it. One other thing I wanted to mention was the gala night. So the gala night was, I believe, the first ship that we were out at sea, the first day that we were out at sea. And that's when everybody dresses up, and you'll see men in suits and women in gowns, and people take pictures with the captain. But the most exciting part of gala night for me was that you were able to get lobster and filet mignon for free at the complimentary restaurant. So don't pass that up. It is free. It's a nice amenity, and not a lot of people knew about it. I had to ask because I wasn't really sure what gala night was about, and that's when the attendant let me know all of the little perks. So make sure you check that out, and make sure you dress up and bring your formal gown for the events. Okay, so last category, the vibes. So this was my very first solo trip, and I was a little nervous, but I didn't want to miss this opportunity. And I decided to just go ahead and try, and I'm so glad that I did. Everybody on the ship was there to have a good time, to meet new people, and to just enjoy the experience. MSC also has solo meetups. So I think it was the second day of the cruise, they had a solo meetup, and then every day on the cruise after that, they had one at the same spot at 5 o'clock. So I went to the first meetup, and I met a great group of people, and we all stuck together and hung out from that night pretty much until the rest of the trip. We sang karaoke together, we went to the parties together. Some of of us ate dinner together. If you decide that you want to go on this trip and no one's available or you can't find anyone that would be interested in going, please go solo. You will not regret it. Everybody is just so nice, so kind, so friendly, so open. There are other solo travelers, so you're not alone, and you will meet people. And MSC, like I said, sets up these solo travel meetups, so they make it even easier for you. Okay, so lastly, I have some tips for you if you do decide to take this cruise, especially if you're a solo traveler. So the first tip I have is, if you are a solo traveler and you're a female and you're afraid that maybe someone might notice that you're solo and may try to get in your room, I don't know, you want some extra protection. This is a door lock that I found. I don't remember the cost, but it can't be more than $10. But you hook this up to your door. I'll put a little picture of how I did it on my door. Just added security so that nobody can get into your room. So this might be useful. Another useful tip is this phone holder that you can use if you're traveling alone. Let's say you don't want to leave your phone in your bag on the beach while you go swimming. You want to make sure you have it with you. Or if you want to record underwater while you're swimming as well, this works, okay? It's a waterproof pouch. I tried it. I found it on Amazon. If you want the link, and I can post it in the comments, but it was perfect. It did its job. My phone is still functional and did not get wet the whole time I was swimming. So this is very useful product as well. Okay, all in all, would I take this trip again? Absolutely. I'm actually planning on going again in the near future, and I highly recommend MSC. I know there are some reviews out there by some people discrediting them, but I had the best time. Everything was wonderful, especially for the price. You couldn't beat it. And all you foodies out there, the food was delicious too. So I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope you take the trip as well. And if you do, let me know. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.